Hi everyone, Agnes here, and this YouTube today is a very special one for me. It is a celebration of 10 years having met and been with my lovely man for all these years, and just reflecting back on what it's taken to get here, and not only to get here but to maintain and improve and to enjoy more and more this connection with this lovely man of mine. And I wanted to share with you the things that I've learned along the way, the things that I needed to overcome, things that I needed to change to be able to sustain and maintain this wonderful connection. So I've jotted them down and I'm going to talk about each one for you. So hopefully it will help you along your journey as to wherever you're at the moment. The first thing was to change feeling unloved to loved, okay? Changing that state. Now, years ago, I, like many of you, would look to the other person for love, and then it would become suffocating or annoying or, you know, many other emotions the other person experienced because they felt the drain. So being in a state of love and a state of lovedness more and more has really, really helped in my just general happiness in this relationship. It's really changed because it's my responsibility, and I made it the other person's responsibility over the years prior to him, and I've had to learn to change that. So going from unloved to loved, I think, is one of the most important things that I've learned, and to hold that state and to learn to be in that state irregardless of the other person. That is a wonderful gift that you give your partner, or if you're single, that you give to the potential partner, okay? So that's the first, and I think one of the most important things that I've learned. The second one is stopping trying to take love from a partner and also forget techniques to make anyone do anything, okay? To get someone to beg, to commit, to force, to push. All of that, when I look back, it came from a very selfish place of getting, and they can work for short periods of time, but in the end, it just doesn't create a meaningful, loving, sustainable relationship. So, you know, over the years, I stopped doing all those techniques. I started doing more radiating love and feeling loved and enjoying my own self and in my own skin and doing things that made me happy, and then taking that, who I am, and the joy and the happiness and the satisfaction towards this person. That has been a wonderful thing to learn, and still something that I maintain on a regular basis. So, number 3. Now, my partner says this regularly: cool your skin, okay? It means just calm yourself down. So, how to do that? Regular meditation with breathing, to stop anxiety, to stop any mental rushing or trying to control or trying to make something happen, or obsession, all of those things that I had years and years ago, to really cool my skin, okay? Now, it's a funny expression from my person's culture, and I've used it many times with many of you, and it's been something that's really resonated with many of you, because we get so intense about things. We get so, I need to talk to you about things, or how can I get this to work, or how can I control this? So getting to the point where you can say to yourself, cool your skin, take a breath, do your meditation, and attend to your own mental state, your mental diet. And that's been hugely important and something that I do on a regular basis. Number 4, going and enjoying other things. So food, cooking, shopping, exercising, music, movies, being playful, going out with friends, going and having a coffee somewhere, going having a meal that you enjoy. And I'm not talking about doing that with your love interest. I'm talking about doing these things for you. So you're not waiting around to go and do the things you want to do. You go and do them, and then you come back, and then you share that with your lovely person if you have one. But it's the energy of doing this and the joy that you have, and you've got the light in your eyes, and you've got more of a presence, and you're wonderful to be around. That is something that is very attractive to be around, whether you're in a relationship or not, and whether today you're in a relationship that's not working, or that you're not getting enough from, or you're single and you'd like to attract somebody. Doing these things, it changes you on the inside. It makes you feel satisfied, happy. It makes you feel good. And that energy is a magnet to bring in a wonderful extension of that. Being with somebody who will do certain things with you. And when they're not there, you go and do them on your own. But then when you come back, you can share that with them, which I do with my partner. And we do certain things together, and we do some of these separately. It just depends on, who's doing what this week and who has time, and bringing ourselves together to do these things. And it's a wonderful thing to share in our relationship, going to eat, listening to music, going dancing, going to movies, or just listening to music or movies at home together on Netflix. Those things that make you laugh, that make you have fun, that energy is great to put into the relationship. Okay, I remember years ago I was always wanting to talk about the relationship, always wanting to work out why someone didn't love me, what was it that they weren't happy with. This constant looking at problems, constantly looking for, I'm not good enough conversation. That just is really exhausting for the other person if you do that. So stop doing that. Stop doing that and put more energy into this. Enjoy other things. And then take that wonderful energy out in the world if you're single, or towards your person if you've got one. Okay? Number 5, gratitude for other things, not for the things they're doing or for the things they should be doing, or using, techniques to try and get them to give you more. This is about real, genuine, grassroots gratitude for lots of things in your life. Now, to this day, I've been doing this for, I think, over 10 years. I do the gratitude in the shower, and it can be 10 things that I'm grateful for these days about my lovely person, or other 10 things that are about my life in general. It's doing the gratitude and being consistent. That has been now a lifelong game changer. It is huge in terms of what that gratitude does to the relationship. It's like the fertilizer that you put on the relationship. I remember where my mum lives in the mountains out of Sydney, and she gave me this jar one day, and it had this black, brown, really not very nice smelling stuff. And I didn't know what it was, and I said to my mum, "What's this?" And she said, "It's wormwee." And I said, "Well, what do you do with that?" She said, "You put it on the plants and it makes them grow." So gratitude is the wormwee for really getting to the place where you're fertilizing yourself, and then it fertilizes the relationship. The more you give yourself the good fertilizer, that then makes for rich soil within relationships. Again, whether you're single or whether you're not, it doesn't matter, okay? You're fertilizing what goes out from you with gratitude. And that, again, is one of my still daily habits. Number 6, rest. Okay, I know this sounds simple and totally obvious, but I would often be in exhaustion or overtired or, not enough sleep. And then I'd start to go over things in my head, and then I'd want to discuss too much. And it was problem, conversation, problem, conversation, problem, conversation. Let's work this out. Let's get this right. Whereas now, if I can attend to all these things that I'm talking about, the relationship just flows. It works. It's easy. It's effortless. Because you've brought in a you that's stable, a you that has a good mental diet, a you that has a good physical self-care, a you that has just these wonderful things in place that then is sustaining the relationship. You're not going to the relationship to get stuff. You're bringing the best of you towards the relationship. You're seeing what you can give to things rather than what you can get from it. And that's been a massive change in being able to really maintain this relationship. Okay? So you can stop the talking about the relationship so much if you have somebody, or trying to get to that relationship conversation too quick if you've just met somebody, and you can just let it breathe. It's like when you pull the cork out of a bottle of wine, you let it breathe. You don't need to rush. You don't need to go into all these things. You know, talk about this, talk about where are we going, are we committed, are we going to have a relationship, when are we going to do this, moving in together, have a baby, get married, do this, do that. Let it breathe. And just relax. And I think that's been a wonderful thing. The resting, to let go of getting to that point where you hit exhaustion, there is none of that when you rest regularly, when you put energy in reserve, when you put rest in reserve, when you eat properly. All these things means you have better mental health, which then means you have better emotional health, which means then you have a better, well, physical body, and also a better relationship, because the relationship is the echo of me. So if you want to know how well you're doing in yourself, you just got to look at what your relationships are doing, especially romantic relationships, romantic, physical, sexual relationships. They will echo back to you how well you're doing on these things. Okay? Number 7, sleep, which ties in with rest. Sleep for mental stability. If you feel rested, if you've had enough sleep, you're not grumpy. If you're not grumpy, there's less opportunity for arguments, misinterpretations. It really, really does help to get sleep, enough sleep for you. And I know many of you suffer with sleep issues, so you can work on meditation, you can cut back on your coffee, you can look at why you're not sleeping properly and be honest with yourself. Is it that I'm worried? Is it that I'm anxious? Is it because I've got repetitive habitual thought patterns? And if that's the case, well, what can I do to change that? Let me do Ho'oponopono meditations, or let me do meditations that are guided, or let me do those, some of you do those 8-hour meditations, which really help you to go into sleep and to stay asleep. So that has been really, really huge. I personally need about 8 hours of sleep a night. I can go without food, but I cannot go without sleep. It is one of my Achilles heels, so I make sure I get enough sleep. Number 8, exercise, and combining exercise with affirmations. So walking is my favorite, going for a brisk walk, doing affirmations, doing them for about an hour, that really screws my head on properly, and then my mind doesn't chew on itself. It's excellent to get enough affirmations into the system mentally, and then it goes down and it affects the emotions, okay? So that's been extremely helpful for me in my relationship today. Again, still something I do not every day, depending on the weather or depending on what else I have going on, but it would definitely be at least 4 to 5 days a week. Number 9, radiating love. Okay? It's getting to the place where you do that more and more and more, and you get out of this, how do you like me? What do I need to change to get more from you? How can I get reassurance from you? Why is it that you're not giving me enough? So when you're in that state, it's the wrong energy to have a wonderful relationship, because it's so driven by self-centeredness. It's so driven by getting. It's so driven by selfishness. It's like an addict chasing a drug. So this was something that had to change in me. I had to learn to change all those things and get to the place where the energy was going that way, rather than how do I, with those little beady eyes going back and forth. It was stopping that and really learning how to radiate love. And that has transformed my relationship. Learning to give more, learning to meet my own needs so that I was able to give more. Because my partner was a real giver, and I was, taking his energy and taking his, he has a lot of energy, so he was really giving and looking to share it, but I wasn't giving enough. And I was getting used to him giving to me, and that was something that wasn't fair. I had to learn to change that. Now, number 10, sitting in the silence and asking for guidance. So, many of you probably do this, as many of us have, going to other people and complaining about things around relationships, and, this isn't working, I need to go and talk to my friends, and I need to break down what they did to me, and going over the complaining, going over the problem. And, my partner and I were talking yesterday about, he said, do you remember when you used to do that when things wouldn't go right? You'd say, I just need to go and talk to my friends. And he would stand there and go, well, the issue's between you and me. Don't we need to talk about this between us? Or work on all these other things that I've mentioned. And that one thing alone too has really helped. Don't run and go and talk to my friends about what's going on with us. And really, there's not hardly ever anything to really go and talk about anymore, because I think, well, okay, if something's not great, I just go, if that's on the outside, what is it that I need to dissolve or work on within me? So I do hope that hearing these things, this will help you to get yourself to the place where you cool your skin. And I do love that term. I do. It just says it all. Just cool your skin, regroup your mind. Then that influences what goes on in your emotional self. And then you are able to sleep better and, go for a walk or exercise and affirm, but be able to focus. So I am very, very thrilled to be in such a wonderful relationship with such a wonderful man. And I think, this is possible for many of you. And I know that you struggle with it and you find it hard and things seem like it's never going to happen. But if any of this blueprint helps you, I think this is, upon self-reflection, some of the most important things I've learned that I still do today, years on. And I am very grateful to have had such a wonderful partner that's taught me a lot about the things I need to change. And it wasn't like, this is my soulmate because it's all romantic and loving and beautiful white sheets and laying in bed naked together. No, it's been about, if you believe in soulmates, it's about the other person being who they are, and then you have to evolve. Your soul evolves because the lessons can be challenging. And I can tell you, in the beginning, it was much harder than it is now. Now it's settled into a groove. It's fun. We laugh a lot. And we just enjoy each other's quirkiness and weirdness. And we really, really have a peaceful, loving, and really meaningful relationship. So thank you to my beautiful partner. If you do see this, I love you and I'm grateful for what I've learnt. And it's been, like an amazingly, difficult journey in the beginning. But boy, oh boy, was it worth it. And I'm grateful to be with you. Lots of love. Thank you, everyone. And I will see you in the next YouTube.